Welcome to the Sound Like Us podcast, where we get the bedroom rock stars out of the bedroom, out into the world to hopefully get them the recognition they deserve. During the interview, we get to know an artist by asking them about how important music is to them, from how their early life shaped the musician they became, to live music, to their first foray into writing and producing music, and what they have planned for the future. Please like, follow, share and subscribe in all the usual places, so Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Instagram, YouTube, etc. A big thank you to everyone that has done so already. Please spread the word far and wide to your friends, family and even that annoying prick you sit next to at work. If you like the podcast, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform that you use, as this helps give the algorithm a big old slap in the chops and gets these musicians even more of the exposure they deserve. If you're a musician, singer-songwriter, rapper, producer, DJ, MC, or even, God forbid, a drummer, and you fancy joining me on the podcast, please don't hesitate to get in touch and we will get you on. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. Welcome to the Sounds Like Us podcast and to today's guest, singer-songwriter Chessi O'Dowd. Chessi, good morning and welcome to Sounds Like Us. How are you doing today?
I am very well, thank you. I've got my coffee and I'm ready to go.
You need coffee, especially when you've been up as late as you were last night doing the open mic.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need a coffee in the morning. Right, so maybe we can start by having you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm a singer-songwriter from Warwickshire, Oxfordshire. My style is varies, like acoustic folk, maybe a little bit of pop folk in there as well. It's just me, not a band. It's just me on my own singing, playing guitar and ukulele. So yeah, and I love it. I'm also a videographer as well, which is my other job. So I would say creative bum is basically my umbrella. But so yeah.
Yeah, I was seeing that you do quite a lot of other stuff as well. You do what was it on the thing? A lot of
Hobbies.
Like paddleboard instructor,
Yeah.
line dancing, aerial hoop and pole and stuff like that. You got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I like to keep it interesting, and I like to try things and kind of keep myself kind of fit and healthy, and just I'm not one for sitting around and just doing nothing. I find it very difficult to relax. I feel guilty, like I should be doing something.
Yeah, I think I'm the same, really. So, how did the music that your parents listened to influence you while growing up?
So my folks were quite big. They love their music. My dad used to play guitar and he used to be a musician, and my mom was a dancer. So music's always kind of been like an integral part of our family. They were kind of listen to the cool stuff. I mean, they were like into like Led Zeppelin, The Who, and Dire Straits, and Crosby, Nash and Young, and then when I came along, there was a lot of Alanis Morissette, like Matchbox 20 and stuff like that. So it's given me like a really like rounded, quite diverse background of music. Probably mostly towards like the more rock side of things, but yeah.
Can you share how your background and the places that you grew up helped to shape you musically?
I think like it's quite difficult. I've moved around a little bit, but I've always been surrounded by, I would say, kind of green and countryside.
Yeah.
I was born in Portsmouth, so I was kind of born next to me, and I kind of, earlier years, I was very much used to having the ocean there, and that was quite a big part of my life. And I think like probably, I'm a country girl, so I love greenery, I love hills and trees, and being able to see that. And so I think it probably definitely has an effect on my music. So I would say my music is quite earthy, and it kind of lends into that kind of that folky side. Yeah.
Okay, definitely. Were there any particular experiences with music in your community or hometown that helped shape you? Any sort of incidents that stand out?
I think like, I wouldn't say necessarily in my hometown, but in my school. I was very lucky to have been in a secondary school that had like a really big music centre as part of it.
Okay. Yeah.
I was always in the music block, and I was always encouraged to be kind of musical or creative. My sister was a cellist as well. I say she is technically still a cellist, but she hasn't played it for a while. Tony, you can hear this, get your cello out. So I used to spend a lot of my my childhood, I guess, in the music block, just kind of playing around on stuff. And I think, just being involved in that and being involved in like jazz bands and choirs and getting involved in performances and stuff like that always just probably helped to shape kind of do now.
So there was always something sort of going on, kind of, you could always go and pick up an instrument, you could always someone else playing an instrument, people to go and see, people to go and play with, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I used to play the saxophone. So my first instrument was the saxophone. So I was always encouraged to be in, swing bands and jazz bands. And I always had singer lessons. I always kind of used to get roped into. There was one terrible performance I did where we had to do like a bit from The Sound of Music. And all I had one little line, and when they go do re mi fa sol la ti,
Yeah.
all I had to sing was fa. That was it. Everyone just took it like one
do
re mi fa. I was fa. And when it came to the performance, I was there as the audience, and they did it. It literally went into my happy place, or zoned out, or something, and I forgot to say fa, and there was like a massive gap, and I just went fa. There was always stuff, there was always kind of stuff that I was kind of getting involved in, and I just kind of loved being involved in that, all the music stuff.
That is, it's good to have that sort of community of music and stuff where you can just go in and sort of pick stuff up and just go and do stuff. We've never really had that when I was growing up around here. I mean, music was just something you kind of did yourself. I did trumpet and trombone when I was at primary school, but that was kind of forgotten about when I moved to secondary school. So it was kind of there. Wasn't much though.
Do you play?
Sorry?
Do you play now?
No. I kind of look back on it a bit regretfully because I could read music and play the trumpet and trombone back then. I can't do it now. I play guitar now, but it's quite basic. But I was pretty good back then. I kind of wish I'd kept it up.
Do you enjoy yourself when you play? Even if it's at whatever level, do you enjoy yourself when you're playing? Is it like a nice...
In my bedroom, yeah. Kind of.
That's the main thing.
True.
So
that's very true. Right, so you're currently working with Grammy Award-winning producer Mike Exeter. How did you guys come to start working together?
So essentially, I was recording a few songs from my album Wine Glass Filter that I released a couple of years ago.
Okay.
And I recorded at a place called Gospel Oak Studio, which is in Rowington Green, which is kind of more our area. Mike uses that studio to do some of his own stuff. He kind of has a bit of a collab thing going with the owner of the studio. And I just met Mike when I was there, and I was recording stuff, and then I asked him about my next few songs that I'm kind of working on and hopefully going to release in the next year.
Okay.
And I've just kind of approached him about it, and the rest is history, really. So
okay.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's been an amazing experience, kind of working with him, and
Good. So what are you kicking up together? Are we allowed to know? Is it on the download?
It's not on the download. It's so we got one song. I've done one song which is called Spirals. It's a happy summer song, but that will be obviously being released now in the summer. So that's kind of ready to go.
Okay.
And I've got another one called There You Go, which is a more recent song of mine, which is going to be my next one, and that's going to be the first release and the first kickoff.
Okay.
So that's the plan, and then I've got a couple more, but I'm kind of taking it one at a time at the moment because I'm not made of money, and also just kind of trying not to massively rush the process to try and, get the songs right. So
yeah, you want to get it right. You don't want to hurry it in. It comes out and it's too mixed up and stuff like that. And like you say, these things cost money, don't they?
They do.
You've got to pay attention to that. Is there a specific piece of music that transports you back to another time or place? It might bring back vivid memories or emotions, anything like that?
There's a song which is from a guy called John Butler, or John Butler Trio, and it's called What You Want. So I had this experience when I did a gap year. I went to Fiji and was teaching and kind of did some traveling around in Australia, and I came back from this experience back to England, and obviously it took quite a lot of adjustment, kind of going from having that kind of independence and freedom, kind of coming back, and then I was kind of with my folks, and I had to get a job to pay off the credit card because I paid for 2 skydives and many surfing lessons while I was out there. I had to face reality and pay that off. And I kind of discovered this band whilst I was there, John Butler and I was just listening to this song, and for me that song just takes me back to that little snippet and feeling of kind of freedom and travel and sunrising and the surfing and the skydiving and just that kind of feeling. And even now it's like really special to me, and whenever I'm going on a surf trip or I'm doing something, I'll kind of play it just to kind of make myself get in that zone and feel that way.
So it takes you back to that time before having to pay credit card bills. I miss them days too. I miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your songwriting is a mix of personal insight, loves, struggles, and laughs. Is there a particular process that you go through when writing to work these into your songs?
It sometimes can take, especially words, like lyrics, because the lyrics are obviously the music's important, but the words to me are kind of like, they've always been a thing that have drawn me into music as well, like being able to relate to words. So I kind of always have like something handy, like a notepad, or even if it's like my phone, something like that. Something pops into my head, even if it's just like a sentence or a word, or maybe something I've said, and I'm like, oh, because I like to try and keep things as truthful to my truth as I can. Feel like if I'm going to make it relatable, I need to kind of, for me, I don't want to like sugarcoat stuff or just make it sound all fluffy and fancy for the sake of making it sound fluffy and fancy, because I want people to kind of identify with what I'm saying at the same time. So I kind of write it down, and I've got so many audio notes of me just talking random rubbish into my phone, or humming or singing or just going. Half of them I never listen back to, and when I do, I'm literally like, don't know what it is. But every now and then I do, and then I'm like, or if there's something I'm like, yes, that is a song, that is the next song, yes, then I know I've got it down. But so yeah, I like to kind of process that, and then I just play around with different chord structures or different music and different keys, and then just kind of find something that fits, or something when you kind of get that feeling of, oh, that's good. Yeah. That's really nice, like transition from that note to that note, and then that's kind of how it builds.
Yeah, so it's kind of a case of being able to note down or record down how you're feeling at a particular time and get you the idea in your head.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's a good thing about technology nowadays. We can always do that. I've got loads of stuff saved in my voice notes and stuff, and notes and stuff. I could go back and reference it. And a lot of the time I think, what the bloody hell was I thinking about? But when it comes to write a song, I can just sort of reference it. It's so important now because, like you say, you're trying to get your truth when you're writing a song, and you can reference it back.
Absolutely. Although there have been times when I've been like really angry or really upset and really sad.
Yeah.
Cue my Taylor Swift era. So I've been writing, I've written some words, and some of them I've gone back and I'm like, that is so emo. That is just, I can't use that. I cannot use that. That's just like, but at the time though, it just help. It's very kind of, you're almost vocalizing how you're feeling and you're writing it down. Even if I don't use it in a song, it's quite therapeutic.
Yeah. definitely. So who would you say are your main influences?
Ooh, I've got such diverse. 'Cause I used to listen to everything from musical theatre to movie soundtracks to heavy metal to have my massive emo phase to my focus to I was, but I would have to say if I had to kind of go for my main influences, Bright Eyes. There's Bright Eyes. They're a big influence for me, and they're Conor Oberst and his lyricism and his way of kind of getting music and words across is just fantastic. It's just amazing. Aaron Osborne, so there's a bit of a 90s throwback. So it's actually something my folks used to play in the car, these albums. There was an album called Relish in 1995, and I remember being a kid and listening to this, and it had quite a huge effect on me, to the point that I've actually released a cover of one of her songs with a local artist called Jack Blackman. And we released that a few years ago, and we did kind of our own version of a song called Pensacola, which was so much fun. It was awesome.
Yeah.
But we did it over. It was like towards the end of lockdown, and we couldn't film inside, so we had to film. And I think there's many singer-songwriters who did their music videos in random fields and forests in that time, because that was the only place where you could really kind of go and do stuff like that. So we had to go onto our local. It was like a golf course that kind of like it was overgrown. They built a new one next to it, so there was an old golf course. It got overgrown, and we filmed that, made a music video in February. It was bits of snow coming down, and we had to try and make it look like Pensacola, Florida.
How did you do that?
So luckily I had to do a lot of like bleach filters. We found a lot of places where it looked quite stark. Like there was an old sand that we used. We managed to pull it off, which is good. But if you look closely, you can see the odd like little snowflake that's like drifting in the background. But yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a random question for you to put you on the spot. If you could take anyone to any concert in history, who would you take? What concert would it be? And why would you take that person to that concert?
I'm going to say the first thing that pops into my head. I'm going to go for Live Aid. Who am I going to take to Live Aid? My best friend, Anna.
Okay.
I think I would take my friend Anna to Live Aid. Definitely.
Why would you take her?
Because she's a massive muso, but she's also of a slightly younger generation. So I feel like there's probably quite a few people there who she would have loved to have seen or had the chance to see, and obviously I would love to see Queen. Like for me, like Freddie, like that would just be dream come true. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I would go just for Queen. I mean, it's one of the most legendary performances in British musical history.
Exactly.
They were only on stage for 15 minutes, I think, something like that. But yeah.
I might change my answer, actually. Maybe I'll take my dad.
Yeah?
Because I think he'd kill me if I went to see Queen without him, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what. It's your concert. You can take 2 people. 2 tickets. There you go.
You.
There you go. Right. So, coming back from 1985 to now, what is the favourite, what's the first piece of music that you ever wrote?
It was called Floating on the Ocean. It consisted of 2 chords, which are the only 2 chords I knew at the time, which is E minor and A minor.
So it wasn't a happy song then?
No. I know I started off depressing and probably continue that.
Yeah.
No, I do have songs. I do have happy songs. But yeah, it was 2 chords. It was called Floating on the Ocean, and I was so proud of myself when I wrote that.
It's a proud moment when you first do your first song. My first song was called Lazy Bean Dreams, and it's pathetic. It's absolutely terrifying song. I've still got the book where I've got the words, the lyric book in my cupboard over there, and it's crap. But we move on, don't we?
Lazy Bean Dreams.
No, Laser Beam Dreams.
Laser beam. See, that's even better. I thought you said like a lazy bean dreams.
Maybe I'll change it to that. You never know.
I quite like laser beam dreams though. That's cool. I feel I'm getting that could be like a electronic kind of.
No, it was a complete rip-off of, I think, Cigarettes and Alcohol by Oasis. And it's just shit. So, what was the first concert you ever went to?
Incubus.
Okay.
Well, big band concert. Then yeah.
Well, any concert. It might be down your local church hall, anything like that. Local scout hall.
In that case, I probably can't remember. It's probably something my sister was doing. She was probably playing cello in the orchestra or something.
Okay.
In terms of like a big band, Incubus was my first. Wembley Arena, which is I don't think is Wembley Arena anymore, is it?
It's been given the amazingly traditional name of the OVO Arena, the OVO Electricity Fit people. But yeah. Not as romantic as it used to be called the Wembley Empire Pool. And that was what it was when it first opened as a concert hall. But now it's got a really crap name. So you won the Godiva Calling songwriter competition to open the main stage at the Godiva Festival, where you featured alongside Mel C and Trevor Nelson, amongst others. Tell us about that. What was all that about?
So Godiva is a big festival held in Coventry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they do like to get local musicians involved as well. Yeah. And with Coventry music scene is a very, very vibrant scene.
Yeah.
So they hold a competition each year there's one for bands, songwriters,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, whoever essentially kind of wins that competition gets a slot on the main stage, which is amazing. And yeah, I won that year, which was amazing. So I kind of got that opportunity and experience, and yeah, it was great. I was like, little old me on this humongous like stage. I was just like had all this space that I didn't really know what to do with. But yeah, it was fantastic. And it was just so much fun.
How many people were there? A few thousand or?
Oh, probably, yeah, but I can't, no idea when it comes to estimation.
Yeah. So how long were you playing for? How many songs did you do roughly?
Did about half an hour. So
it's not bad.
No, it would have been. It might be a bit less than that. How many songs did I do? Like 4 or 5 songs.
It's not bad. That's pretty good.
I talk a lot of like.
What, between songs?
Yeah, I chat at a. I'm trying not to swear, but yeah.
Swear if you want. It's fine.
Amazing.
I've already sworn.
That takes that pressure off. But I have a habit of talking absolute shit, basically, to people and to my audience as well. So I've managed to like somehow get through gigs very quickly and just. Yeah. I like bouncing off people and having that kind of like rapport, and kind of breaks the ice a little bit, and it kind of takes away that whole kind of barrier between like performer audience, and makes them feel they can interact with you and you can interact with them as well. And yeah,
and it builds the energy up as well.
Yes,
it kind of helps, because I was at a gig in Farringdon, North London. It's actually East London, kind of, on Wednesday, but it was in quite a small room. It was a band called Danny and the Champions of the World. I don't know if you've heard of him. And a guy called Gabriel Milliken. They'd both been on the podcast before. And it's quite a small room, but they were really doing well to work the crowd. It's quite a, shall we say, older audience. They're really working the crowd up to sort of build the energy, and you kind of need that sometimes. I think you probably need it even more when it's at a festival, when it's, thousands of people, and, people need to be brought to the stage a little bit. A lot of them might be a bit pissed as well, so that helps. But yeah, What was the first live performance you did yourself?
So, I mean, are we including school plays in this one? In which case, I was in a Pied Piper
Anything.
as a disco rat in a Pied Piper at school. In terms of Chessi, Chessi O'Dowd, it would probably it was Sandy's Bar in Oxford.
Okay.
And there's an artist called Devon Mason who kind of reached out and said, "Oh, would you like to come and play?" And I'd be like, "Oh my God, yes, that'd be amazing." And so I played there, and yeah, I was absolutely terrified, but it was fantastic. And then there's a place called Jojo Gyms, which is the first time I had like my name and on a poster and all this. And I was just like,
Brilliant.
I was like, oh my goodness, that's amazing. So,
how did that feel when you first saw your name up on the poster?
It felt like, I think that there's a little bit of a thing with creatives where I think that we get quite a lot of imposter syndrome that comes with kind of the territory of like what we do.
Yeah.
To actually kind of see my name on a poster, I was like, oh my goodness, I can do this. I can do this. Someone else thinks I can do this.
Yeah.
I think I could do this. Everyone, people around me is saying you could do this. And it was just very much a kind of real moment of like, that's me on a poster and I'm going to be doing this. And I'm actually being advertised like what I'm doing is mean. Or it's a little, or, even if it's just in that high street or in that pub or, in that particular half an hour playing, I kind of felt like what I was doing was kind of actually important to, it was.
Yeah, and you can see that other people are buying into it.
Yeah, and enjoy. And, you actually realize that I actually do have something to give to people, and I can do this. And it's quite a big moment, I think.
Yeah, and it kind of shows that, whatever self-doubt you might have had before, because I've been through things like that where you think, oh, can I do this? But when you see something like that, you think, you know what? Yeah, I can do this. And you're kind of, I don't know, giving yourself a bit of a pat on the back. And then you get up on stage and how did it go, that gig?
It was, it went well. It did go well, actually. And I felt really good about it afterwards. And it was, I felt like I put the work in, I put in the practice, prepared myself as much as I could. And I think considering that I was probably terrified and really, really nervous and everything at the same time, I would just, and I felt good about it afterwards. I had really good responses from people and comments about my songs and songwriting. And that was amazing because,
That's good. It's always good to get good feedback.
Absolutely.
Looking back, what would you say out of all the performances you've done, what is the best one you think you've done?
It's probably gonna have to be Godiva, or at least the final heat that we did where I won, probably.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I was up against some incredible people, really brilliant musicians, and we were kind of all in it together. But when they called my name, I was like, I don't.
Oh my God!
It was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. And I don't win things. I'm not like someone who, and I kind of get these really jammy people who just kind of manage to win little bits on lottery to get the right scratch card, or they kind of like I've got medals.
Always get something. Yeah.
Always just win. It's just people who just win it. I'm not. I've just not. Don't seem to be a winner in that aspect. So when I actually won something, I was like, yes. I don't even win raffles. Like I just.
Yeah. I've only ever won one competition in my life, and that was a Liam and Noel Gallagher lookalike competition. And do you know why I won that? Because I was the only bastard that entered it.
Amazing.
And do you know what I got for winning that? It was a Liam and Noel Gallagher cutouts, cardboard cutouts.
No way.
And they're still at my mum's house.
Epic.
Which I think is probably where they're going to stay. So you're also an advocate for mental health awareness, which is an amazing thing to do as well. And your spoken word poem, Bad Day, was featured across various media outlets. tell us how mental health has influenced your work as an artist. Has it had an impact on it, or?
Oh, massively, yeah. Because I think just the way I work and the way my brain works has probably contributed quite a lot towards my creativity, being able to think outside the box of things, kind of look at things in a slightly different perspective. And because I was diagnosed with OCD about 7 years ago, and I kind of get anxiety with that and like intrusive thoughts, all of that for me that comes with it. I think that yeah, just having a kind of slightly different kind of perspective on things, I think definitely kind of helps. But also, when I was diagnosed with OCD and everything like that, I realized that nothing was scarier to me in my life so far than the moment I had to speak to the person who was, it was called IAPT at the time, and it was someone who the GP referred you to kind of to, you would talk to a therapist who would then be like, okay, I recommend CBT or recommend you for counseling or something. And I spoke to this person, and the scariest thing I've ever had to do in my life was to talk about what was going on in my head to this person.
Yeah, I've had to do something similar recently.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's tough.
It is tough. It is tough. But it's also a huge step and a relief, and also kind of, I feel like you're taking that step forward to healing.
Yeah.
Well, but yeah, well done for that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important for people to recognize that something's going on within themselves, and they've got to take that step. And once they do, you're there pretty much.
That's the hardest part. The hardest part of that whole journey is that moment when you're like, I think I need to do something, and making that first step towards it. And that's usually the step that you're going to make on that journey. But yeah, in terms of my music, kind of that taking that step and that talking to someone about what was going on in my head, I realized after that nothing could ever be as scary as that moment. So I threw myself into things that I was too scared to do before. So that was open mics, performing my music, writing things down, and that kind of kicked off my musical journey essentially.
Yeah. Have you found that other people have started to reach out to you regarding mental health since you've done the sort of advocacy for mental health?
I think that since that has happened, I've been very open about it. Like I talk about it, no problem.
Yeah.
You know, because if maybe I talked about it before, or if someone else had talked about it before, I might have been in a different place where I wouldn't have had to make a step where I had to call someone because I was in such a dark, bad place. And as soon as I start talking about it, I find that you suddenly get people who be like, oh, I've got that as well. And you actually realize, like, you're not alone. Actually, there's so many people around you who are probably going through, maybe might not be the same thing, but it could be a similar thing, or generally worried about something that's going on in their head, or something they're thinking, or how people are reacting to them, or feeling anxious about something and not knowing why. I think it's important to talk about it. So I'm always very open, completely very open about it. And I wrote that poem because I wanted to, again, just kind of reach out to people. It was during lockdown as well, and I wrote that. So it was a time where I feel like, you know, people who did have mental health issues, it was probably could have been amplified, and we were all so separated from each other as well. Like it was just kind of a way to kind of reach out a little bit, and also explain to my friends and people around me about, like, if I'm having a bad day, it's not necessarily, you know, me and what's kind of going on in my head while that's happening, and it's kind of maybe helps other people understand me a little bit better as well. So
I mean, I only sort of reached out to someone because that person had been quite open about the things they've been going through. This is a fellow at work, and they just went onto the work WhatsApp group and said, anyone on here that's feeling, you know, under the, you know, mental health issues and stuff, just go to your manager at work and they will help you deal with it. Get it out there, get it done. Make sure you speak to someone. So I reached out to him and he gave me all the advice I needed.
amazing.
And I did it. So I'm finding my way through it.
Amazing.
Thankfully.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing. I think in the last few years, it's obviously something that is talked about more. Workplaces are embracing it and advocating with mental health and having days to look after yourself more, and being able to talk about it. And I think it's having like a really, really
Yeah,
effect. And
definitely. Yeah, we need to reach out more. Absolutely. Is there a particular venue that stands out in your opinion as a favourite place of yours to perform?
I think that there's a couple. There's a recent one which I'm actually going to be playing in tomorrow for. I'm just going to join it's my friend's gig, but I'm going to join them for a couple of songs. It's called Southbound in
Cool.
Leamington. It's a very, very cool bar. It's like under like a railway bridge, and it's
Under the arches.
yeah, it's very cool. And they've got a lovely setup there, like stage setup, and it's lovely. And that was nice, and the people there are lovely. But there's
cool.
a place that holds a very special place in my heart, and it's actually where I run my open mic called the Red Lion in Evesham. And it's this like little pub, but it's become a massive music hub and community. And it's just very real. It's very authentic. The music's very real. The music's very authentic. There's no pretense. It's just, you could just go there, and they've got jam nights, or they've got like a female singer-songwriter night. Excuse me. Or
That's okay.
open mics. It's just got such a beautiful community spirit, and it's got such a diverse mix of musicians and artists who go there, and it's just become like a creative hub and phenomenon in little town of Evesham, and it's amazing. And you always come out of it feeling very positive and very kind of happy and supported, which is awesome.
That's good. That's really good. Right, another random question for you. I want to put you on the spot again. If you could save 5 albums by 5 different artists from a burning building, which 5 are you going to choose? People hate me for this question.
You know what? I'm going to give you answers, but I'll probably want to regret them or regret something. I'll be thinking about it later. I'll be sat there thinking, oh, I wish I said that instead. But I'm going to give you, 5 albums. Okay, so I'm going to go for I'm Wide Awake It's Morning by Bright Eyes. Got to be saved. I'm also going for, come on, Jess. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. I feel like that's got to.
Incubus.
Yes, but it's choosing the album. Like, how can I just? Okay,
I don't know any.
Incubus, Make Yourself. Okay, well, it's
2 more.
John Butler, Sunrise Over Sea.
Mm-hmm.
You really are putting me on the spot, aren't you? I'm going to go for the soundtrack to The Fellowship of the Ring. Howard Shore.
The soundtrack to The Fellowship of the Ring. Okay.
Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
That counts.
Because it counts. Yeah. I'm throwing that one in there.
Yeah. That's your precious.
I love movie soundtracks. Like when I was a teenager and I was doing my exams, I used to listen to like Lord of the Rings, Pirates of the Caribbean, John Williams.
Jaws.
Yeah, there's some.
Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, because I'm a videographer as well, so like I kind of grew.
Yeah, true. I forgot. Yeah.
Massive nerd. I kind of grew up on sci-fi and cult shows and fantasy and all of that stuff. So yeah, it's very much ingrained in.
Yeah. Right. So, what is your favourite all-time song of yours to perform live?
I think it's got to be my new one. Actually, I'm going to say that because it's "There You Go," because it's got a little bit more anger and sass to it, and I enjoy channeling that into the song, and I can just kind of bring out my more rock and roll side, which is fun.
Does that get a reaction when you play live, like off the crowd or anything like that?
It does actually. Like I get quite a few people singing along, which is amazing because they don't know the song, but the chorus is quite hooky, or you can kind of. A few people have singing along to it or adding their own like backing vocals and stuff, which is awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, so that's quite nice, and I can just kind of go for it and let loose a little bit with that one. So I enjoy that one.
That's good. What are your memories of recording?
Kind of recorded at Gospel Oak Studio quite a few. That was amazing. That was always an amazing experience. Kind of having a more recent experience, recording Spirals, my song that will be released in the summer. That was classic because I kind of got because I had Mike there who was producing, and I bought a couple of people who I trusted as well, other musicians that were just fantastic, who were kind of adding their little elements to it that I made the skill set to do. Like obviously, I bought a drummer and a blues guitarist and stuff like that with me. So, and it was it was a fantastic experience actually having someone, being able to kind of step outside your song and say, actually, you should try it this way. May not necessarily have been something I would have thought about, and it's still very much keeping it mine and in keeping with me and my writing, but it's also a way that just kind of helps to step it up a little bit or make it kind of just add an element to it that I may not necessarily have kind of like thought of or heard, and then I hear it and I'm like, that's amazing, that's genius. I love it. And it just really helps to kind of bring it to life. It's always an amazing kind of learning experience as well, because it kind of helps my songwriting, because I kind of got in my, okay, so if I go into the studio, they're likely going to want to swap that bit around or that bit around. So I'll do it now before I get to, I'll get to that point. Yeah. It does help with your songwriting, I think. Yeah, it's definitely, it's always a good experience. And I've recorded in people, in home studios and stuff like that. Yeah. I had lots of fun kind of doing that as well. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a good experience. It's always a learning experience every time you go in.
Yeah. So how do you prefer to record? Do you prefer to do it in the studio, do it at home? Have you got a set up at home, or?
I prefer to do it in the studio with people who know their shit, basically. So like I can record, yes, like I can record, but I would much rather have someone there who understands the kind of
process and the kind of the things that you like and
the science behind, like you know, a lot of like the kind of like audio engineering and stuff like that. I would obviously if I want to record a song and just be like, oh, I'm just gonna get this song down, I can do that, that's fine. But if I'm actually gonna record it to release it, like I want to do it with people. And it's also like kind of keeping that music community going, because music isn't just the performers, it's also the audio engineers and the producers and the people who run the studios and
everybody in the background. They all count, they all matter.
Yeah, we're all part of the music industry, and I think we kind of support each other as well, like we're all trying to find our way in the music biz.
And it's good to have that sort of third ear, people listening from a different angle, and they can say, well, you might think this, but I think you should maybe do this. And we need that.
Well, absolutely. Because you can get very much stuck in your bubble. Like, be like, nope, this is it. This is not going to change. I've made it the most perfect it can be. And then sometimes that's not necessarily the case when you're stuck in your own little bubble. Sometimes you need to grow and develop and evolve. You need to also kind of keep a little bit of an open mind and accept that, and accept someone else's expertise or someone's expert ear, or, say, oh, actually this song is going to be, the format of the song will be better for like radio or for kind of Spotify if you do this, which might be the difference between an extra 50 listeners or an extra 100 listeners or, however many.
Yeah.
However small or however big, it's just, so I think it's always important to kind of, to listen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Is there a track of yours that carries a deep personal meaning for you?
There's a song of mine called Blue and Yellow, which I wrote about a friend of mine who passed away when I was, I was a teenager. She was 17. And she sadly lost her battle to bone cancer, and she was battling it for a couple of years, but she was a huge inspiration in terms of she was such a strong person. And at that age to be facing what she was facing as well. Yeah. So it kind of took me a while to write the song, to kind of find the right words. Like, how do I do her justice? And in the end, I wrote her a letter, essentially. Okay. Wrote out a letter, and I turned that letter into lyrics, and it became a song. It became Blue and Yellow. So That's probably the song kind of got the deepest meaning for me.
Yeah, that would definitely have a deep meaning. Can you think of a piece of music that's had a major impact on you from when you were younger and you carry it through to now?
It's probably gonna still be when I was younger. I'm gonna go with Real World by Matchbox 20.
Okay.
Because I used to listen to that in my dad's car and love the song. And I still love it now. Every time it comes on, it makes me smile. And I sing along like an idiot in the car to it. And it's like one of my happy songs. And it's just, it's great. So
it's kind of like we said earlier, one of those songs that take you back.
Yes. Yeah. It's nostalgic, but it's always going to be like, even the words, everything's still pretty relevant now. And I just love it. But yeah.
What's one of your most memorable moments from a live show? Any particular incident that might have made you laugh? Was it a crowd reaction, a moment of personal connection? Anything that felt kind of magic in the moment?
Anytime, I'll use Godiva as an example. So when I'm performing there, and I kind of looked down at like my crowd, and then there was like all of the people who I loved was like there, and you were singing back to me, and it was just such a beautiful moment where I was just like, I was like, oh, that's like, they're here, they're supporting, and they're here, and they're singing. When you find people singing your words back to you, like regardless of whether it's a family member or something, it's always a moment. Like that
always means something. So when you play live, it's just yourself, isn't it? Have you ever performed in a band or anything like that previously, or
performed with Jack Blackman before? So as like a duet. In terms of a band, apart from when I was recording Spirals, probably not really. Apart from when I've done some open mics and then people joined in on the cajon and stuff like that. But I would love to, though. I think that's my next step. I would love to kind of maybe form like a band as well and have something that I can kind of do some kind of, badass, beautiful badass songs.
It changes up the sound a little bit.
Yeah. Kind of have some fun. Yeah, a bit more fun and throw a little bit more.
A bit more rock and roll.
Yeah.
Are there any other bands or artists you enjoy playing with or seeing live in the local scene? Want to give them a bit of a shout?
Oh, so many. Yes. So there are quite a few amazing like bands and talent around this area, and some of them are just so there's several people. There's a guy called Ed Vokes. He's fantastic in the area. There's fantastic band. Keep an eye out for them. There's Mads. There's a fantastic duo called Dave and Basil, and it's their proper like throwback kind of Fallout style.
Dave and Basil.
Yeah, they're fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. They're kind of, when you watch a live, like you watch an artist and you actually just suddenly your jaw drops. You're like, wow. That's very much kind of how you feel when you watch them play.
Yeah.
And Jack Blackman, of course, fantastic. One of the best, like, kind of guitarists and kind of blues and roots Americana artists that I.
Yeah, that's good. Have you collaborated with any, like, in the studio? Performed in the studio at all?
Performing in the studio?
Well, I mean, as in, like, done recordings and stuff with other artists and...
Yes, so I actually did quite a lot of collaboration with Jack and a guy called Seeley for my previous album as well. So they kind of helped me, I guess, produce some of the songs. And then if you listen in the background, you'll hear their kind of the backing vocals and a few of their their guitar solos are mostly Jack as well. So yeah.
So what does the future hold for you both in the short and the long term?
I think in the short term, I'm very much focusing on getting my songs now recorded in next year and getting those out and released and kind of building up kind of doing all that. I'm terrible at like advertising myself.
Yeah.
I think because I make videos for other people, it's almost like counterintuitive because I'm usually the person who's advertising other people. So when it comes to me, it's like, oh,
I'll do that.
so yes, it's always kind of something I'm trying to do better at. So if you see a load more Instagram posts of me, that's me trying to make a concerted effort to be better at doing it. So I think in the long term, I just want to keep making amazing music, and I want to kind of just reach out to more people and kind of get more out there and do some really kind of go and play some really epically interesting venues and just grow as an artist and maybe form another band on the side. Obviously continue doing my Chessi stuff, but doing another band on the side and having a bit of a play and experiment with some different styles, which would be fun.
Good. Keep an eye out for that, right? And that brings us to the end of the interview. Have you enjoyed it?
I have, yeah. It's been really fun.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Right. Do you want to reiterate about any gigs or tours or releases you've got coming up for people?
Sure. So tomorrow I'm going to be singing a few songs with the fantastic Jack Blackman at Southbound Bar in Leamington. Also, please watch out for my releases, especially in the spring, but hopefully I should have one before then.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
So how can people reach you? You've got any social media online that people can get to? Website?
I am on all of the social stuff. I need to do better on my TikTok. I've got about 4 or 5 posts on my TikTok, so I need to do better on that, but I am on it. But yeah, Instagram.
I hate TikTok.
It's true. Yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment. And I kind of have a bit of a anxiety panic attack if I've got to go on it because I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how this works.
It's just too much, too many videos, just one after the other after the other. It's just
yeah,
annoying.
So on all of those, I'm just type my name in Google, will pop up with stuff. Probably
it'll come up.
Some embarrassing old pictures of me probably performing or yeah.
Right. They look great, I'm sure. So please like, share, follow and subscribe to the Sounds Like Us podcast on Instagram and YouTube at Sound Like Us podcast. And finally, to play us out, would you like to introduce your song?
Yes, this is called The Pines and I hope you enjoy.
Yeah, so to play us out, it's Chessi O'Dowd with The Pines. Do you want to tell us a bit about the song, what it means?
Of course, yeah. So I wrote the song because I was having moments where there was a lot of oversharing of kind of going back to socials, a lot of oversharing of things. I were having moments in my life where I didn't feel like I wanted to share them with the world, and I just wanted to absorb it and have a moment to myself without feeling like it's only valid if it's social media validated. I kind of wrote this song called The Pines just about, kind of absorbing the world around you at that particular time. Okay, great.
Chessi, it's been a pleasure having you on today, and I want to thank you again for taking time out of your day. I know you got up quite early because you had a late finish last night at the open mic. So thank you once again, and play us out. It's Chessi O'Dowd with The Vines. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Little summer dresses drying out on the bonnet of the car, foot wellies full of sand, tying our ropes with sunburned hands. But I don't want the world to see. Just for me, campfires under the hunter tonight. thinking about what planet to visit if we could. But I don't want the world to know. I'm gonna have this moment for my own. Run to my home pine tree. I like to watch them dance, pretend I am one of them. I know it's sad, but it calms me down. But I don't want the world to know. I wanna be in this place on my own. Festival bunting calls out to musos and fashion players. Phones held high over feather crowns like torches sway with reverb sound. But I don't want the world to see. I'm gonna have this moment just for me. The band deities in play. I sing, I pray, I let the music take. I know how it all goes. I feel it strumming through all my bones. But they don't really need to see. I'm gonna have this moment just for me. Run to my home pine trees. I like to watch them dance, pretend I'm one of them. I know it's sad, but it calms me down. But I don't want the world to know. I wanna be in this place on my own. Covers rolled up, house wedding night. Windows open to the cool outside. Cold shivers down naked skin that greets the morning light. And I refuse to rise. I refuse to rise. But I don't want the world to see. I wanna have this moment just for me. I don't want the